Okay, so hopefully you just had a chance to watch the video of me introducing this sutra. If not, no worries, you're here, and we're going to cover this sutra in detail. So we made it through Sutra 2.1 and 2.2, making it to day 3, which introduces Yoga Sutra 2.3. And now we're talking about the kleshas, because remember, in Yoga Sutra 2.2, that's when the kleshas got introduced. And since they got introduced, Patanjali is really good about articulating everything and clarifying everything step by step, which is one of the reasons it's called a sutra, right? Because it's like a sutra. This stuff is threaded together intricately, okay? So here we are talking about the kleshas. But before we get into what the words mean and what the kleshas actually are, let's talk about the how to chant this, okay? So I'm going to chant it with the sutra on the screen all by itself, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the swaras. Remember, I hope you went back and downloaded the workbook that goes along with this so that you can keep good organized notes. I'm making it easy for you to keep track of your swaras and what the sutras actually mean word for word, okay? But listen and I'll chant it. Avidya asmita raga dvesha abhiniveshaha kleshaha. Okay, so that's this sutra. I'm going to chant it a couple more times to give you some time to practice, so no worries there. But for now, go ahead and pull out your workbook or your notebook, wherever you're keeping notes, and jot down these swaras so that you know how to chant it, whether it's a low note, a middle note, or a high note. This sutra has all middle and low notes. I don't see any high notes here. Okay, so take a moment and jot those down. You can pause the tape and do that and resume the recording when you're ready. Okay, so here we are, and I'm going to chant it again, but I want you to follow along, kind of looking at the swaras so that you can hear the raising of my voice and the lowering of my voice based on where the swaras are located in the sutra, okay? And when I get done chanting, you can actually repeat after me. Here we go. Avidya asmita raga dvesha abhiniveshaha kleshaha. Were you able to follow along there? Noticing where I had a low note and where it was a middle reference note? Let me chant it one more time for you. And then you can pause it and you can repeat after me and get some practice in for yourself. Okay, here we go. Avidya asmita raga dvesha abhiniveshaha kleshaha. Okay, hopefully you can hear where I go low and where I meet back in the middle. Okay? If not, take some time with that. Sometimes it takes a while to really notice that, right? But with time and practice, it will come. I promise you that. Okay, so let's get into what the words mean. So we're talking about the kleshas now. And each one of these represents the 5 kleshas: avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. Those are the kleshas, and you see the word klesha at the very end because before that is what we're describing as the kleshas. Okay, and the very first klesha is avidya. What does avidya mean? It means profound confusion. You might notice in a lot of translations that some people take this to mean ignorance, but I want to make a distinction there, and I get this from one of my teachers. His name is Chase Bossart, but he pointed it out to me, and then I started to think about it. Yeah, that makes sense. But avidya is not ignorance. Avidya is like this profound, deep confusion, or a really a misunderstanding that we really believe in and we base our worldview around, right? So it's a profound misunderstanding and a deep confusion. It's not an ignorance. Ignorance is just not knowing something. Okay, that means you could just have been ignoring it, you know, not necessarily voluntarily. It might have been an unconscious ignoring of something, but ignorance is just ignoring, not noticing, not seeing it. Okay, but avidya is seeing it and thinking it's something that it's not, and really believing that you're correct, right? That's avidya, deep confusion. Next we have asmita. Asmita is what a lot of folks describe as their lower ego, or they just say ego, but we're talking about the lower ego here. This is not the spiritual ego, right? This is what we identify as who we are, the I amness of me, okay? How we identify, what hat we wear in life. That's asmita. And then we have raga. Raga is uncontrolled desires, right? Desire or cravings, these things that have us going here and there to get this and that, right? Raga, we want something, so we go for it. You know, whether it be a chocolate bar or a pint of ice cream, or to go do something to waste time that we know is not going to serve us, but we like doing it, so we're going to do it anyway, right? That's raga, right? It's uncontrolled desires because it's a desire, but then when we do it, it interferes with something else that brings us well-being, okay? And then we have dvesha. Dvesha is, it's like not liking something. It's a dislike of something. It's when we, let me say, it's an aversion that we might have to something, okay? We might avoid doing something or eating something or participating in something. We might avoid it just because. We might avoid a party because somebody's going to be there. Or we might avoid a class that we need to attend because we're going to be called on, you know. We could be avoiding it for a number of reasons, but dvesha is avoidance of something. Or we might avoid dogs because we got bit when we were younger. We don't, dvesha, it really covers all the bases of avoidance, okay? And then we have abhinivesha. Abhinivesha is bigger than just avoidance. It's fear, like the ultimate fear with a capital F. And for most people, the ultimate fear is death, right? Because we cling to life. We love living so much. Even though we don't always like what we're living through, we don't want it to end, right? We keep clinging to this life. And the fear of losing this life, that's the ultimate fear. That's the abhinivesha. And these are the kleshas that can get in the way of, you know, a really great life experience. And how do we define the word klesha? Again, this goes back to the previous sutra where we learned about the word klesha the first time, but, you know, I really want to implore you to listen to the words, right? Klesha. You can hear the word clash in klesha. So that's how I like to think of it and remember it so it sticks, right? But klesha is also understood as afflictions or causes of suffering, and those things that trouble you, right? And many other synonyms for that, but that's what klesha means. And these are the 5 kleshas: avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, and abhinivesha, okay? So what does this sutra mean as a whole? Well, it's pretty straightforward this time. Sometimes it gets a little more, it requires a little more attention to kind of break this down, but this one is straightforward. It's just letting us know what the 5 kleshas are. And the kleshas are avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, and abhinivesha. Hopefully this was helpful and it makes sense. I can't wait to talk about Yoga Sutra 2.4, because now we're going to start getting into, okay, since we introduced what the 5 kleshas are, now let's go into detail about what each of those individual kleshas are. So next we're going to talk about avidya, before we talk about asmita, raga, dvesha, and abhinivesha. But avidya is next, and avidya it's worth discussing, right? So I look forward to seeing you back here on the next sutra. Until then, take really good care of yourself, and I'll see you later.